Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus, and welcome to another live stream Tuesday. And I'm going to get you guys up on screen straight away because thank you everybody for joining in with the live chat before we'd even started. And we have Teresa in there and Carla moderating as well, and everyone's going through too quickly. So Kevin, Lynn, Linda as well, who has just donated as well. Barbara, Teacher Man 1955, Ray's in the house, Jeff, Dennis, Reb, Louis, Ryan, Teresa again. Thank you guys so much for joining in. It always goes a bit crazy at the beginning of the live stream with everybody commenting, but thank you for all of these comments. And also hello to Neil and Laurie who are moderating in there as well. Thank you guys for joining me tonight, and thank you to everybody over on Patreon as well who makes every video and live stream possible on this channel. And you guys know the drill. We get their names going across the screen throughout the whole live stream. So a massive thank you to these people. You know who you are, and they often pop up in the super chat window as well. So I'm sure we'll be seeing a few of those later on. Thank you also for replying to my requests over on Patreon before the live stream, because it means that I can then set everything up. Even though today I started setting things up a little bit earlier, and then I thought I'd forgotten something, and I did actually forget something, so then I had to quickly rush. It's always the case, but hopefully, fingers crossed, everything will go smoothly, and now that I've put the kiss of death on it, it probably won't, but we will see what happens. So we're going to be starting off the live stream playing a song that I didn't get to on the last live stream because we ran out of time. And this is the thing with these live streams, I do have to be quick because before we know it, or at least before I know it, it's already about 10 past 1 in the morning and the time just disappears. So we will get into that video first. It is going to be Percy Johnson, the lyric video for that. And just before we do get into that video, I want to get the super chat up on screen because we have had a little bit of action in there before the live stream even started. So Lynn donated before the live stream was actually live, and it was $20, so thank you so much for that, Lynn. The message is start the tip jar with a bit of folding cash, so thank you for that. And Ryan then donated after that, dead on 12 midnight, so right at the beginning of the live stream with $5. Thank you for that, Ryan. And the message is hi. Oh, this is £5. Thank you, Ryan. The message is hi from me and my friend Connor. We both wish you a great week. Rock on, with a picture of a guitar. So thank you for that, Ryan and Connor as well. And Linda's in the house and has donated $5. Thank you for that, Linda. The message is stuck at work and am a grumpy girl because I'll be late. Hopefully I'll make it. So hopefully, fingers crossed, everybody will be hoping that Linda can make it before the end of the live stream. We'll be waiting to see you, Linda, in that live chat room. Hopefully you can make it and things don't drag on too much. But thank you so much for that donation. And Rose is in the house as well and has donated $5. Thank you for that, Rose. The message is, what is the funniest or weirdest question that anyone has ever asked you? I'm not sure. And I don't know whether that means on the live streams or just generally in life. I'm not really sure what the weirdest question is. I'd have to think about that for quite a while, because most of the questions that I do get asked with a day-to-day occurrence is music-based and about guitars, about maybe singing or playing the guitar, about different scales, just music-based questions. So not anything particularly weird or that I can think of at the moment, but I'll try and think of something, but I can't think of anything at the moment and maybe won't be able to. But thank you so much for that donation and all of these donations that are coming in so quickly because the live stream has only just started. Thank you everyone for joining me tonight. And also, before I forget, if you get a chance to hit that thumbs up button, it would be massively appreciated. It is the case that again tonight I'm not getting to see how many people are watching or the like count, so it might be something that you guys have got to keep me up to date with, but we aim for 200 on these live streams, and hopefully we can reach that tonight. That is our target for the likes. So if we can get a spike of the likes early on and a plug of the mug while I remember to get these things in early. And breaking news, we have some summer fruits in the mug tonight, and that's just summer fruits squash. So it's still a squash of sorts, but a different flavor than the orange. So if you want to get your hands on a mug, you can do. It's in the tray underneath this video, as well as the new hoodies that are there, and also the t-shirts. I'm sure you guys can see that underneath this video. But we have had a few more donations in the super chat window. Thank you for that, Rose, the $5 donation. And Gina has donated $9.99. Thank you for that. And the message is, hello, Phil. Here is some cash for squash. Sending my love with 2 hearts. So thank you for that, Gina. And it's great that I'm getting the donations for pretty much everything. Hairbands as well that we had last time. And that was from Carla, so thank you for that. We're actually getting some hairband donations all over the place. So anything that I mentioned with the squash as well, thank you for that, Gina. And Wicked Felina has donated $20. Thank you for that. The message is, love your work, your smile, and your kind generosity to us. So thank you for that, Wicked Felina. And thank you for the kind words as well. I'm sure that everybody in the live stream tonight is gonna be so sociable, and this is the great thing about the live chat room. Everybody in there, when we meet up for these live streams, everyone's in there for the community, and it is something that I've mentioned in previous live streams. But fortunately, I don't really have to mention about guidelines and all that kind of stuff, but it's something as well that the live stream is so well moderated. And everybody just say a massive hello and thank you to the moderators for doing such a great job on these live streams, because that is what gives it the sense and the freedom of the community that we have in the live chat room. So a massive thank you to the moderators for doing such a great job, but also for everybody's generosity in the live chat room with not only me, but just each other, and making it such a cool place to be on a Tuesday night and a Saturday night. So thank you for that. And thank you, Wicked Felina, for the kind words and that donation. Jeannie has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Jeannie. The message is, hi Phil, ready to rock with orange, it looks like, and a pizza, requesting a cartoon at your convenience. So thank you for that, Jeannie. I'm not sure whether we'll be able to fit in a cartoon or not tonight, because I've got all of the videos set up and ready to go, and I am going to have to try to persevere with playing the videos in a timely manner so that we can get through them for the live stream. But thank you for that, Jeannie. And Marge is in the house as well and has donated $2. Thank you for that, Marge. The message is, my $2 trip across the pond. Hang on, my $2 trip across the pond with a thumbs up, a smile, and a thumbs up. I was just about to say fund at the end of that, because I'm so used to saying anything that's across the pond, I always say fund at the end. So thank you, Marge, for that. I almost tripped up with that message, but we just about got there. And just to clarify, Marge says my $2 trip across the pond, and then thumbs up, smile, and thumbs up. So thank you for that, Marge. And Jen has donated $5. Thank you for that, Jen. The message is, because I just watched it, was wondering if you caught the movie Rock of Ages with Tom Cruise with an inquisitive face. And that isn't one that, I haven't seen the movie. Unfortunately, for some reason, it's passed me by, or it did pass me by. I saw it advertised, but I think the problem that I have is finding the time to watch a whole movie. I sometimes watch movies in little segments, but I don't really get the chance to have that amount of time to watch a movie in full. So it isn't one that I've got round to, and I'm not sure how that's happened or why that's happened, but maybe I can get into watching the movie in the future. It is something that I should really have watched, considering my hair and the nature of the movie, but maybe it's something that I can catch up with in the future. So thank you for that, Jen. And Kathleen is in the house and has donated $10. Thank you for that. the message is "You rock." So thank you, Kathleen, and you rock as well. All of you guys in the live chat room as well. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And Gina has donated $4.99. Thank you for that, Gina. The message is, I have a strange question for you. Do you have a dream venue to play or a dream bill to play on? And I'm not sure really. I guess the dream venue I kind of did play, and that was at Wembley Arena when I was on the TV show, did that audition, and I'm sure because I have alluded to that quite a lot of times on the live streams, you'll be bored of hearing about it, but certainly Wembley Arena was a venue that I saw so many bands myself, and I saw Whitesnake there, Def Leppard. What other bands did I see? I'm trying to think. It was the band whose name for some reason has totally gone out of my head, Justin Hawkins, and for some reason I can't remember. The Darkness. I don't know why the band name just wouldn't get into my head, but I saw The Darkness at Wembley Arena. So that was a band that I saw probably in my teenage years, but that was cool as well. So having seen them and having seen Whitesnake and Def Leppard, and I'm sure there's other bands that I've seen there, but that was a venue that I thought, oh, it'd be pretty cool to play here. And it just so happened that it worked out that I did actually get to perform there on the stage. Certainly not under the circumstances that I would have predicted, but it was still great to be able to do that. So that would be probably a venue that I'd like to do again in the future, but also over in the USA, I don't really know of many venues, but I'm sure there are lots of arenas over in the USA that at some point would be very cool to play, but we will see how things pan out. But thank you for that, Gina. And also we have Thais or Thais, I'm not sure about the pronunciation, but thank you so much for this $5 donation. And it's a R$5 donation, I think, but it's Portuguese or Brazilian Portuguese in Brazil. And I've only picked that up because I just saw somewhere obrigada, which is the female version of thank you in Brazilian Portuguese. But thank you so much for this donation. The message is, Hola, I'm a classical Brazilian pianist and I learn a lot about music from your analysis. Obrigada. So thank you so much for that, Thais, and I hope that I am saying that correctly. And it's great that you're tuning in from Brazil. And I've been there a few times. I was learning Brazilian Portuguese, but I'm not very good at it, so I'll try and avoid saying anything that's going to embarrass myself. So we then had No Alias, who has donated £2. Thank you for that. And that is the second £1 donation. So that's the first time it's ever happened on the live stream that we've got £2, well, £2, but 2 donations in pounds sterling. So thank you so much for that. The message is, are you any good at fingering a minor pentatonic shape? So thank you for that, and I have ad-libbed a little bit with that message, but as I've been through with the analysis videos, sometimes I do get into that minor pentatonic shape, and what you want to try and do is have your first finger of where the chord is, say for example in A minor on the 5th fret, and the high E string and B string, you want to use your little finger, and you also want to have that formation for the low E string, and then the A string, the D string, the G string, you want to use first and third finger, and pretty much that's going to keep everything organized as you start to get better at playing that shape. But thank you so much for that donation. And Orlando has donated $5. Orlando, thank you for joining us tonight. And another donation, the message is, I missed your first announcement because I had to refresh the page. Was it anything important? Anyway, spike the likes with some rock horns. So, great idea from Orlando to spike the likes if possible. We're already 15 minutes into the live stream, so it's a great time as any, or it's as good a time as any to spike the likes. So Orlando, I'm trying to think of the first announcement that I made, probably that I was going to play the Percy Johnson lyric video that I said I'd play in the last live stream, so we're going to be catching up with that. And that was for Luan, who requested that on Saturday night, so I will be getting into that. I think that's probably the first thing that I said, but thank you, Orlando. And Carl is in the house as well, and this is $7.50 that Carl has donated. Thank you for that. And the message is the usual across the pond fund, plus a little extra for Chinese takeout instead of pizza. Speedy recovery to Ian Anderson and Brian May. So thank you for that, Carl. And this is something that I did read, and regarding Brian May, I saw his Instagram post where he was just explaining about the fact that he pulled a muscle in his gluteus maximus, or he actually ripped a muscle. He tore some muscle fibers, I think, and then had some nerve problems as well, which were excruciating for him. And during all that, he then had a small heart attack. So yes, definitely speedy recovery to both Brian and Ian. But thank you, Carl, for that message and the donation. And Joan is in the house as well and has donated $24.99. Thank you so much for that, Joan. The message is the number of patrons and subscribers continue to increase, a testament to your talent, hard work, and persistence. Onward, Phil, with some rock horns. So thank you for that, Joan. And I'll just keep on going for as long as possible. As long as you guys are here and enjoying the videos, I'll keep on doing them. And thank you, everybody, for joining me tonight on this live stream. We have also Calfolk, who has... Calfolk7, who has donated $1.99, and the message is good to see you, Phil, and everyone, with a big hello. So hello, and hello everybody in the live chat room as well. And Carla's donated $4.99. Thank you for that, Carla, and for being here in the live chat room, keeping everything under control, with Laurie and Neil in there as well. So Susan and Dennis have just donated as well, $9.99. Thank you for that, guys. And Susan and Dennis, I noticed over on Patreon just before getting on here live that they had become patrons of mine. So thank you so much for joining in over there and lending that support to the channel and myself. It is much appreciated, and that goes for everybody at the bottom of the screen here as well. So Susan and Dennis have donated $9.99. The message is, sorry it took us so long to become patrons, with a smiley face. We are glad to now be official and not loiterers, with a laughing face. So thank you, and you beat me to it, even though I'd already said about the patrons, but your message obviously was before I said that. So thank you, Susan and Dennis, for joining me, and even just tuning in and commenting on the live streams or just watching the videos is great, and I really do appreciate that. It's not important, it's not a necessity to become patrons. It's just a bonus thing that really does help, but it's definitely not something that you should feel obligated to do. So thank you, everybody, just for watching, liking, and subscribing, because we've hit 135,000 subscribers today, which is crazy. And thank you, everybody, for hitting that thumbs up and the subscribe button. I think in the last live stream I said that we'd got to 134,000, so it might have just popped up really quickly. So thank you, everybody, for the consistent hit of that subscribe button. It is massively appreciated and helps this channel to grow even more. So we are going to get into this first video. It was requested by Luan. Like I said, it is my lyric video for my song called Percy Johnson, even though over on Patreon I saw that it's been referred to as Percy Jackson. And I think that was the name of a movie that came out after I'd written the song, or after I'd released the song. So I don't know what Percy Jackson is to do with. I think it's more of a fantasy type film. I'm not sure, but I have to look into it. It's something like Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, or something like that. That's certainly a film title that I saw, because when I'd already released Percy Johnson, I thought, oh, that's a bit weird. The names are so similar. But anyway, this is my song called Percy Johnson. I hope you like it. And as always, I'll be in the live chat room while this is playing, and I'll see you guys after. Rock! you have it. That was my song called Percy Johnson, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. You can pick that song up if you want to at wingsofpegasus.com/store, and there should be a link somewhere that I can get on the screen. There we go. That is my website that if you want to check out any music or download tracks individually or the whole album, which is called Persistence. That's also on Amazon and iTunes, but it's better for me personally if you go to wingsofpegasus.com, because that means that I do get everything for each sale rather than iTunes and Amazon taking a percentage of it. But thank you so much, everybody, for joining me tonight on the live chat and with the super chats as well. We are going to get into the super chat window again because there have been some more donations. So thank you, everybody, so much for those. So first of all, I'm going to have to scroll up because you guys have been donating and there have been a lot of you. So thank you guys so much. And let's have a look. It is Luan who has donated $2. I'm just going to scroll up a little bit to make sure that I do include all of those and that I don't miss any, because I do not want to miss any of these donations. So we had Luan who has donated $2. Thank you for that. And says, "Hey Phil," with some rock horns. And then another donation immediately afterwards from Luan as well. This says, "My phone auto-corrected it," with a smiley face. So thank you for those two $2 donations. And Lisa has donated $5. Thank you for that, Lisa. The message is, now that you haven't been teaching for a few months, will you go back to it, giving private lessons? And this is something that is a future decision that I'm going to have to make, because certainly while everybody's been at home, the amount of messages that I've received and emails and comments on the YouTube channel and just messages all over the place, Facebook as well, has really spiked. So it meant that if I was teaching, I wouldn't have had time to do everything. So if it continues being this busy across all of my social media sites, because it's just me doing everything and keeping up to date on Patreon as well with those messages. Certainly Patreon is the site to probably get in contact with me the most quickly way possible. That doesn't even make sense, but the quickest way possible is on Patreon, because I check that every night and it is a direct message to me, whereas Facebook and YouTube, certainly, as you guys can probably understand, that being at 135,000 subscribers now, when people comment on videos, and it's not just the comments on the videos that I do that night, I've got another 600 or 700 videos that I've done previously that people are commenting on. So I try to read through all of those as well. So it does take quite a lot of time. And if it stays at this same level, then I'm not sure how much I'll be able to teach in the future, because it's unfortunately half an hour or an hour of teaching. I can get so much done across the social media and answering messages, and also people sometimes messaging me, emailing me about business propositions and whether I'm available to do this or that. And generally, unfortunately, I have to say that I just haven't got the time at the moment to do voiceovers and narration and that kind of thing. So also being asked to do things on the YouTube channel where you advertise or you say about something before a video, and I'm not really into that. I've seen other channels that do the mobile games, and I have been approached about doing that, but I don't really want to start an analysis video saying, "Oh, welcome to this analysis video, and by the way, there's a new app that's a great game that you can play that has a fantasy element and all this kind of stuff," because it's like a minute of talking that these people do, promoting an app on your phone or a game for people to play. It's unfortunately totally irrelevant to what I'm doing on the channel. So I do get emails like that. So it's just making the way through those and saying to people that, yeah, unfortunately it's not something that I'm into, but thank you for considering my channel. Anyway, you get the idea that at the moment it is a decision that I'm going to have to make when things start to return back to relative normality here in the UK and teaching and that kind of thing is then allowed again. We will see what happens, but certainly I think I'll struggle to fit it all in if I had to start now because of everybody else being in the same situation of being at home and spending so much time on the computer and on YouTube as well, which is great, don't get me wrong, but I might have to make a decision about my teaching in the future. But anyway, Lisa, thank you so much for that donation and the question as well. Laurie has donated $5. Thank you for that, Laurie, and for the moderation tonight. So the message is for the Man Bun Hair Band Fund. So with a smiley face. So thank you for that, Laurie. And that was a bit of a mouthful. It took a bit of time for my brain to take in those words. For the Man Bun Hair Band Fund. So thank you for that, Laurie. I struggle to say that. Maybe try and say that 10 times quickly in the live chat room if you really do fancy a challenge. So Ian is in the house as well, and Ian has donated $135. Thank you so much for that, Ian. A crazy donation, and the message with that is for getting to 135,000 subs. Good work, Mr. Phil. So thank you for that, Ian. And everybody check out Ian's channel as well for his cover of Don't Cry and also his original material that he releases with videos as well. So definitely worth your time over on Ian's channel. Thank you so much for that donation. And Music Maiden has donated $5. Thank you for that. The message is, did you have any groupies or band aids a la Almost Famous back when you were gigging? And the simple answer to that is no, because I think groupies only really become a thing when you're very well known or you're on TV or you've got your face on billboards all over the place. I think for the independent musician, everybody will be able to relate to this. That is certainly something that doesn't happen when you're just playing a gig and then a few people turn up and you try and get them to check out your Facebook page or you sell them a CD or a t-shirt, and then you have to put all your gear back in your car and all of the band are trying to lift the gear. It's not not a romantic view of the music industry, or at least the one that everybody sees on TV. When you are an independent musician and an independent band, you have to just do everything yourself, and there isn't a tour bus and all that kind of stuff. So no, it's not something that I've experienced in my career so far. So I think it's something that happens when you're maybe signed to a big record label and there's a lot of money spent on promotions and marketing, but then the downside of being with a record label is that you then yourself as an artist lose the rights to a lot of what you do. Even if you do write your own songs, they will take a percentage, if not all of that. So it's probably better to not have the groupies, just be independent, but then own everything that you do. So thank you, Music Maiden, for that. And Abby is in the house as well and has donated $5. Thank you for that, Abby. The message is, I'm loving your online lessons on Patreon. Thanks for them. So thank you for that, Abby. And I'm glad that they might be helping you with your guitar playing. It is something that I have been asked in the past whether I've done a guitar course or anything like that. And it's not something that I tend to do, especially on YouTube, like trying to push a course or something. I have done that over on Patreon, just the 4 lessons, but it's not really a course per se. I'm not selling it to the world wide web to everybody and hosting it on the internet as a downloadable course, which I know a lot of vocal instructors and guitar teachers and guitar courses do. This is just something that if you are on Patreon, I thought it would be good to have something that people that might be interested in playing the guitar at least have 4 lessons to get them started to playing chords and picking and strumming and all of the things that you'll need in order to not get into any bad habits when you're learning to play the guitar, just to start off with. So it's great, Abby, that you're finding those lessons useful, and thank you for checking those out. And Lucy's in the house as well and has donated $9.99. Thank you for that, Lucy. The message is, For the Cross the Pond Fund, since you also play bass and drums, do you have any influences with rock horns, a heart and a peace sign, 135,000 and growing, yahoo. So thank you for that, Lucy. And my influences only really come from guitar playing, because that's what I started on. The bass is something that I think you just naturally pick up if you record and you do play the guitar, and sometimes you haven't got the bassist there to play the song, so you start to do it yourself, and that's certainly what happened with the album Persistence. I just did the bass myself, but I remember, when was that? It was New Year's Eve when everybody was celebrating. I was in here doing the bass for my album, and that must have been a while ago now, but I just thought it was funny at the time that I saw the clock change and realised, oh, we're into another year, and here I am playing bass on my album. But it was something that had to be done, and I think I've got one of those minds that once I start doing something, I've just got to get it done, and then I can start to relax a little bit after that, or just move on to the next job. So bass is something that happens naturally, I think, for guitar players in that scenario. For drums, it was something that I was interested in and wanted to do for the cover songs, and I've always, since a child, knocked on things and hit things and wanted to make a beat on something. So on the tabletop at school, and drums is something that I think I haven't started doing for quite a long time in my life, until relatively recently, the same amount of time probably that I've been singing, or maybe a little bit less, but it's something that I've wanted to do, but I really wanted to get my guitar playing up to a particular level, and then also learning to produce and make my own album and sing as well and harmonize. There were so many things that I wanted to learn how to do. So bass was just in there, but drums was certainly something that came along a bit later, but nevertheless I definitely enjoy doing, as well as keys. But I tend to focus more on vocals and maybe guitar, and then drums. It's pretty much whenever I'm waiting for a video to upload or render, I'll attack one of the instruments, and it's a bit random as to which one I choose. But thank you, Lucy, for that. And John has donated £1.99. It looks like that's the third pound sterling donation, so thank you for that, John. And the message is, are you a fan of Roy Orbison? You rock, with rock horns, a smiley face, and rock horns. So yes, I have a video on Roy here somewhere, and this is unfortunately one of those things that I covered him, and it's such a shame that when I did the Travelling Wilburys video as well, that you don't have Roy in there, and it's something that, especially with his talent, his voice as well. I did mention on that video about him not being the most technical singer, is what I did say, and a lot of people say, well, hang on, he was a great singer. And when I mention technicalities, I'm talking about runs, and something that you sometimes hear singers being criticized for. They do too many runs, they're too technical. And Roy Orbison was a great example of someone who had not only great range, great tone, but he didn't over sing. He wasn't overly technical. So when I say that in the video, that's what I mean, and that's what I'm referring to, not that he wasn't a great singer. So just something that I feel like sometimes in the comments people say, how can you say that he's not a great technical singer, or he wasn't a great technical singer? And that wasn't the angle that I was trying to explain in the video. But anyway, yes, I am a big fan of Roy's voice, because he just had one of those standalone voices that had such a unique tone to it and expression to it that you knew it was him singing. And for me, that is one of the things that makes every singer or top singer stand alone, because you know it's them singing. Because there are quite a lot of singers that sound like other singers, and certainly the same thing goes for guitarists. When you're listening to a great guitar player, you know it's them playing because of the expression that they have through the instrument and the expression that Roy had in his voice. But thank you so much for that donation. And we have another donation under that, and it's John again with the same donation and the same message. So thank you for that, John. And if that's accidental, we can sort that out afterwards. Don't worry about that. The message following that is from Linda. Again, thank you for that. The message is, it's a $5 donation, by the way. And the message is, finally done with work, with a smiley face. For your information, Percy Jackson is a series of children's books, and they made one into a movie, so now you know. So thank you for that, Linda, and I've just added a little bit of knowledge into my head for Percy Jackson, so thank you for that information. And Jen has donated under that again. Thank you for that, Jen. And it's $2. The message is, Phil, Sherry says she loves you for being you. So thank you for that, Jen. And Sherry as well. Also, just while I remember, if you do get a chance to hit that thumbs up, it would be massively appreciated. It really does help this channel to grow. And we're trying to get to 200 likes, but I don't have the information on my screen. It's not showing up. It didn't show up at the last live stream either, so I'm not sure where we're up to, but 200 is what we aim for. So if you haven't hit that thumbs up, it would be massively appreciated if you could hit that. And we've had another couple of donations. We've had 2008 D Bravo, who has donated $9.99. Thank you for that. The message is, would you consider collaborating with other YouTube musicians on your side of the pond? Thanks for all you do, with a happy face with some sunglasses on and a guitar. So I did collaborate with Kent Johnson, who's a violinist, and he's not here in the UK though, he's in the USA. And also Sina, who's a drummer here on YouTube, and she's in Germany. So I haven't collaborated yet with anybody from the UK. And really, when I was collaborating, I had a lot more time. I was just doing a cover video every month, and that was the focus. So it would take me about 2 weeks to stick that together because I played all of the instruments. Obviously with Sina, I muted the drums and then she played the drums, and then that was mixed in to the track that I did. And then I did a video as well, and then Sina did the video, and we have that on YouTube somewhere. She's got a version on her channel and I've got a different version on my channel. Obviously we did those independently but together, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I now don't have as much time, so it would have to be something that I could do in the future when I possibly can delegate some jobs to somebody else with regards to my channel. But I do hesitate to delegate things, or the want to do that isn't really there, because I like to communicate with you guys just on a one-to-one basis, and rather than somebody else dealing with you, which is something that I've experienced my whole life, trying to get in contact with somebody, and especially if they're well known, you have to talk to somebody who then contacts somebody else, who then contacts the artist, and you never get to talk to them directly. Whereas I really like to keep the channel open to everybody to then communicate with you guys live on a Tuesday night and a Saturday night, but also over on Patreon. And just at the moment, it is me doing everything. So it's probably a little bit of a negative on the side of collaborations, but I would rather keep the personal aspect than offload everything that I do here and go away and do something and disappear and then upload a video and then not be able to talk to you guys about the video that I've just uploaded. So yeah, not something that I'm a fan of doing, but maybe in the future I can have the best of all worlds. I have to figure out a way to do it, but we will see. Thank you so much for that message, 2008 D Bravo. And No Alias has donated $5, and the message is, I'm in your garden, Phil. You gave me the best night of my life last night, but you never called me back afterwards. What happened? And the answer to that is, I was doing an analysis video. So I've done a new video every single night for the last 2 years, more than 2 years. So I have just started this again, and I'm not sure if it's going to work. I've reset the live stream, so I'm not sure how much you guys did, and we're fine. But the next donation was, I'm a Mitri or something like that. I'm not sure whether that is what it says, but it's a donation of $5. So thank you so much for that. The message is, hi Phil, long-time fan. Can you do more Paco de Lucia analysis videos? He deserves all the accolades and analysis. The man is a guitar legend. So thank you so much for that donation. And it is possible that I can revisit in the future. And I think he is on the channel a couple of times maybe, but it's certainly something that I can add to the list. But thank you so much for that donation. Fingers crossed we are still working. I don't know. I'm just going to keep on going. And I really want to make sure that this is working so that you guys can hear me go through the super chat donations, because I don't want to miss any of these out. So we also had a donation from TeacherMan1955, which was $5, and the message for that is: have you done an analysis video of Harry Nilsson? Without You is a great song, included some pizza cash rock with 2 pizzas. So thank you for that. And I'm not sure, not that I can remember. So Harry must be on the list somewhere and will probably pop up in the future on the channel. But thank you so much for that, TeacherMan1955. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this is all working, because of course, resetting my whole live stream, it means that all of my screens have stopped where it stopped. So I'm going to just hope that everything works. A donation has just gone through from Stephen Steele, so thank you for that. It is $2. I can't see the bottom of that. It might just be a straight up donation, but let me see if I can catch it on this screen over here. And it does look like it is a straight up donation, so thank you so much for that, Stephen. We're going to jump into a video where hopefully everything is going to work. This is going to be my cover of Iris. It was requested over on Patreon by Rose and Lisa, so thank you guys for that. Hopefully I'm going to be able to suss and refresh my screens as to whether this live stream is still working, but we will see. Fingers crossed. I will see you guys in the chat room, and we are still live. And I'll be in the chat room if we are live. I'll see you guys after this. Rock!
Well, I'd give up forever to touch you, 'cause I know that you feel me somehow. You're the closest to heaven I'll ever be. I don't wanna go home right now. And all I can taste is this moment, and all I can breathe is your life. When sooner or later it's over, I just don't wanna miss you tonight. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. Whenever there's a made to be broken, I just want you to know who I am. And you can't fight the tears that ain't coming, or the moment of truth in your lies. When everything feels like the movies, yeah, you bleed just to know you're alive. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. Whenever there's a made to be broken, I just want you to know who I am.
And there we have it. That was my version of Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls, and that was hopefully playing and you could hear it all. We are really just flying by the seat of our pants at the moment on the live stream. We did manage to sidestep the gremlin, I think, fingers crossed, but I've still got a yellow warning light on the live stream, so I'm just going to continue and we'll get through things and it'll be fine. So let's get the super chat window up on the screen because we had some action in there. Thank you guys for sticking with me in the live stream, and I just want to make sure that I don't miss anybody. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody throughout that outage that we had with the donations and the live stream going offline momentarily. But another donation's just come in, so I'm going to have to scroll up. So thank you for that. And it is Stephen who donated $2 with a straight up donation. Thank you, Stephen, for that. Ryan has donated £2. And Ryan's message is, thank you for that, Ryan. The message is, you handle the trolls like a trooper Chick-fil-A. So thank you so much for that, Ryan. And this is the thing that I think it's the first time that a troll has actually donated to put a message in the super chat window, which if people want to troll and give me money, that's absolutely fine. If anything, just get more trolls, because it is somewhat of a contradiction to be giving somebody money and making a tribute to their channel to keep it going and trolling. So I don't know how it works. It is a bit of a contradiction to be doing that, but I think it is just fun sometimes to just throw something their way because they look for a little bit of attention. And certainly in my experience, I think the most subscribers I've ever seen from a troll account on my YouTube channel, they've had 3. That is the top subscribers that they've had, and they always say about them being really good and being a musician and an artist themselves, and it's usually, who are you to have a go at these musicians? Other professional musicians. And they obviously don't type in Wings of Pegasus into Google and haven't done any research. So yeah, it's always interesting that it's either 0, 1 or 3 subscribers that they generally tend to have on YouTube on the troll side of things. But it is interesting to see one popping up in the super chat window. So thank you for that donation and for making it a slightly more interesting stream from a weird perspective, to be donated money from somebody who is a troll. But it's great. So anyway, thank you for that. And thank you, more importantly, to all of you guys in the super chat window who have great questions, and also for everybody joining me in the live chat room for these live streams. I want to make sure that I don't miss anybody. Stephen has donated $2 again. Thank you for that, Stephen. And the message is, do you ever play the 12-string? And I don't have a 12-string guitar, but I used to play it when I worked in a shop where I used to teach, and whenever I had any time off or a lesson cancelled, I'd pick up the 12-string, and it is something that if you play acoustic guitar, it takes a bit of time getting used to holding down the 2 thinner strings, or at least 2 strings at the same time. And yeah, certainly playing lead guitar on it is a totally different kettle of fish, but it is something that I have played, but unfortunately I don't have one. I tend to use my octave pedal if I want a 12-string sound to double up that sound with just either my acoustic or my electric guitar on a clean tone. But thank you for that message, Stephen. And Ray has donated $50. Again, thank you for that, Ray. The message is 193 likes. We can see you, Phil. Thank you for your persistence. What were the worst weather conditions you have played under? How did you get through it? So, I don't think I've played in any really bad conditions. I know that once I played at the end of the year, maybe October, November time, that was very cold, And that was one of those gigs that was just really badly planned by the people that were planning it, and it was all a nightmare, so I had to sing along to a backing track. So it ended up that I wasn't even playing the guitar, even though it was supposed to be a live gig with a full band, and it just worked out that it was so badly organized. They did the timing so badly, we didn't have time to set up anything, and I just had to sing along to that backing track. So it wasn't affected, but that would have been interesting to try and play lead guitar. It would have taken a lot of warming up beforehand, but the only other side of it I've had is being really hot. So I know that in the UK here, being in the mid 30s in Celsius isn't particularly hot when you're talking about really hot countries, but it is something that when you are sweating a lot and your fretboard can get a little bit wet when it is really hot. But pretty much when you're rehearsing, and especially with 4 or 5 guys in a small room and it is summertime, the rehearsals do simulate the live stage quite well. So you're pretty much always prepared for it being very hot. And that's the only difficult situation I've had weather-wise, but like I said, we've been used to it rehearsing in the heat. So fortunately, I've never played outside in the rain. I've been very lucky with the weather when I've played. So thank you, Ray, for that. Kay has donated $5. Thank you for that, Kay. And it is the guy doing the dance, doing that party blower thing that he's got in his mouth. So thank you for that, Kay. And Orlando's donated again. Thank you for that, Orlando. The message, and that's $10. The message is, I liked your analysis video of Steve Perry. I believe you stated he was more vocal power than range. That made sense. Your analysis videos give me a better understanding of what makes up a song. So thank you for that, Orlando. And it's great that you can maybe see things in a different way, because hopefully that's what the analysis videos can help with. It is certainly something that I try to do in the analysis videos, is point out something that maybe people haven't noticed about a video before or a performance before. So thank you for that, Orlando. Kevin has donated $2 and the message is for the non-hair bun fund. So thank you so much for that, Kevin. And that was $2. And TeacherMan1955 has donated $5. Thank you for that again. The message is, guess we'll just have to wing it. Rock, no troll Tuesday. So thank you for that, TeacherMan1955. And yes, we should be good at winging it on this particular channel, and I should be able to do that, hopefully, if I'm just trying to get the band name more literally applied to the live streams. But thank you so much for that. Jeannie has donated $3, and it's almost 1 a.m. already. So guys, we're going to have to really roll on with this live stream, and hopefully it's still all working. It looks like it is. So thank you, Jeannie, for the $3 donation with some rock horns. Music Maiden has donated $5 again. Thank you for that. The message is, I think my groupie question may have prompted the troll, so I am so sorry if it made you uncomfortable. And it's no problem. I don't think anything would make me uncomfortable. I'm pretty much okay with most things, and there's always an answer that can be given, because I'm pretty sure that the people who are trolling aren't really that aware of what they're doing, or at least they don't understand that they're spending their time on my channel and promoting my channel. So if anything, it's achieving the opposite of what they're trying to achieve. So it's a win-win from my point of view. So it doesn't affect me at all. Thank you, Music Maiden, for that. And Jen has donated $2 again. Thank you for that. The message is, have your fingertips been affected from playing? And they haven't really been affected. They're just a bit harder than, I guess, normal people's fingertips, because that's what happens when you do play quite a lot. So they haven't been affected. It doesn't affect you in any other way. Just because the ends of your fingers are slightly harder, it just means that you can play guitar for longer and not be affected playing guitar for a long time. And it's not something that people would be able to notice about me compared to somebody else, that my fingertips are firmer, and you'd probably have to feel it and go up to somebody's fingertips, which would be a little bit weird to be feeling people's fingertips to see how hard they are. But yes, I haven't really been affected apart from them being slightly harder. So Jen, thank you so much for that. I think when you do start playing and you play a lot of hours, you might get blisters on your fingers, which is something that I used to do or get before my fingers then did harden up. But thank you, Jen, for that. Orlando's donated again. The message is, well, $5 donation. Thank you for that. The message is, trolls still contribute. Trolls just play themselves. So thank you for that, Orlando. And here we go. We have No Alias, who has donated £2. So it is somebody from the UK. And the message is your wide input jack crusty? And the answer to that would be the most important thing. I think sometimes if you do have pot cleaner, you can sometimes hear when you've got the jack in your guitar and you change the volume, you can hear that crackle. So you want to make sure that you try and keep your pots clean. And also you can tighten up the jack input. Sometimes people have that problem where the jack keeps on falling out or pulling out the inside of the guitar with the jack. Or sometimes some students that I've had push the jack in and the whole of that input has gone into the guitar. So that's a bit of a problem sometimes, because then you have to either unscrew the whole guitar from the back and open it up and get it back out again, or you can use pliers to just grip the edge of the input jack and pull it out, and then make sure that you tighten up with the nut outside the input. And that's something that you'll typically find on Fender Stratocasters, can be a bit of a problem if it isn't tightened, so just make sure you do that. But Lucy has donated $9.99, so thank you for that, Lucy. The message is over 200 with a thumbs up, yippee, also contributing to the No Man Bun Fund. Thank you for your cover of Iris, one of my favorites, with a heart. So thank you so much for that, Lucy. And I'm just gonna scroll up to make sure that I haven't missed any of these donations because of that interlude that we had. I just want to make sure that we do get everything here. So thank you, Lucy, for that. Stephen has donated $2. Again, thank you for that. And the message is, what do you think of Nightwish? And it's a band that I haven't really got into too much, but it's maybe one of those bands that I could spend a bit more time on or listening to, but it is one of those things that having the time to check out lots of different bands is a bit of a struggle. But on the genre side of things, certainly something that I have listened to. I don't tend to listen to too much really heavy stuff, really leaning more towards rock and hard rock, but certainly a band that I could maybe check out in the future. I'm not sure if they are on the list of requests, but they aren't a band that I've had a lot of time spent on yet. But if I do find some time, then I can certainly spend a little bit more time listening to Nightwish. But thank you, Stephen, for that donation. And Franco has donated $2. Thank you for that, with two, it looks like, hands and then some applause. And this is $2, so thank you for that, Franco. And Marilyn has donated $5. Hello, Marilyn. Thank you for joining us. The message is, hi, Phil. Hope you're well. What would you be your favorite vacation? And it would probably be going to probably going to the United States and possibly going back to Disney World or Florida, because I just want to try and relive my youth, but also maybe California as well. That would be cool to check out that. And yeah, it's something that the USA is such a big place. There's so many places that I'd like to visit, Nashville as well, but we'll see what happens in the future. But probably just because I'm a big kid, I'd like to go to Disney World again. But thank you, Marilyn, for that. And Lynn has donated $50. Thank you so much for that, Lynn. The message is, extra super thanks to the moderators tonight. So a massive thank you as well to Lynn for bringing that up, to thank the moderators in the live chat room, because it's such a difficult job, but they do such a great job in the live chat room. So thank you, everybody, for being so nice in there, but also to the moderators for keeping everybody in line. So Carl has donated $2, and thank you for that. The message is Chinese Takeout Fund. And Rose has just donated $2. Thank you, Rose. The message is, thank you for being you. Please don't change. So thank you, Rose, and I will just try and be myself as much as possible, because that's the easiest way to be, and that goes for everybody out there. So it's also the fact that this is something, when we were watching the last video, I could see that my hair was a little bit long, and I had this idea that with the self-isolation going on and the quarantine, that my hair might grow into looking really cool like Keanu Reeves or something. But as you can tell, my hair, when the fringe gets really long, it's curling away from my face. So this idea that I had that it could hang down and look really cool is just totally wrong, because it's actually curling the wrong way. It's just defying gravity. I don't know how that works, but it's absolutely typical. But I wouldn't know that this happened unless I grew my hair for this long. So anyway, never mind. We will just have to continue and see how much gravity my hair can defy. But anyway, Wicked Felina has donated $10. Thank you for that. And the message is, no matter how the day unfolds, listening to you, no matter what you say, is pure joy. Thank you so very much for tonight, with a smiley face. So thank you for that. Thank you for joining in. And that goes for everybody in the live chat room. If this is your first live stream, thank you for joining in tonight. And thank you, Wicked Felina, for that donation. So we are going to be getting into the next video of the night. We're going to have to make these last two videos very quick because it's almost 1:10 in the morning. If you do get a chance to hit that thumbs up, it would be massively appreciated. And hopefully we can get to 200 likes. I think we might have been close. I can't see it on my screen, but we will see after this. It is going to be my lyric video of Running Blind, as requested by Kevin over on Patreon. And I'll see you guys after this. Rock!
Sense of decency.
So that was my song called Running Blind. I hope you guys enjoyed that one, and that is also available at wingsofpegasus.com if you want to download that one. That was the lyric version of it, and also thank you for requesting that over on Patreon, Kevin. So we are gonna be calling things to a close pretty soon. I'm gonna try and fit in the final video because it's something that we didn't do on the last live stream. We had to miss out the last video, whereas we do have Unwanted Stranger that was requested by Joan and Lisa over on Patreon. So we will be getting into that soon, but let me just get the super chat window up on screen because it's already there magically. So thank you so much, guys, for all of the donations tonight, and I just want to make sure that I don't miss anything on the super chat window. So we have Wicked Felina, who donated $10, thank you for that, and Franco, who has donated $5. So thank you, Franco. The message is: have a telly, hate 60 cycle him, would hot rails be a good investment? Thanks, Phil. And this is something that is totally, well, it's your own personal taste. It is something that a lot of people sometimes go for lipstick pickups. It might be something that you're into. I personally, because I go for a heavier sound, I've actually got some Seymour Duncan, well, I've got one Seymour Duncan dual blade pickup that I put in my Fender Strat in order to have that switch between the original Fender pickups and go to that dual blade pickup, which is, as you know, a humbucker effectively in that single coil position. So I go to that for sometimes if I want a little bit more aggression, especially with the lead solos, because it is in that bridge pickup position. But it's really up to what you want your guitar to sound like as to how you modify it. It might be something that you can try different sounds. The only problem with pickups is that you've really got to try them to get a vibe as to how they sound before then customizing your own guitar and putting them in. So it might be something that's worth a little bit of research and going out and trying to find some pickups that you do like the sound of, but it's totally up to you. I mean, hot rails, it's something that if you want to go down that route, then I can't really tell you what the best is for you for your own sound, because it's your own sound that you're after. And I'm pretty sure that whenever you play a particular guitar or you play a particular set of pickups, that there's a particular customization that you go through, that you hear, that you like the sound of the combination of what you've done, or that you hear another guitarist, for example, who has a particular setup and you think, I like that sound. What are they using? What pickups do they have? What guitar are they using? What amp are they using? Do they use any pedals? And you can look at it from that point of view. But thank you, Franco, for that. I'm unfortunately not going to be much help with being able to give you a definitive answer, but I do say this to everyone pretty much. It's about just finding your own sound and what you like, and I think when you hear what you like, you know it straight away. But thank you, Franco, for that. So we are going to be moving straight into this final video. It is going to be my song called Unwanted Stranger. Like I said, requested by Joan and Lisa over on Patreon. Because we're 1:15 in the morning here, so we're going to have to call it to an end after this. As always, I'm going to be in the live chat room while this is playing, and I'll see you guys after, and then we'll wrap it up, and hopefully we'll avoid any other gremlins before we finish. But we will see. I'll see you guys after this. Rock!
Told me something about you that I didn't want to know. Look me right in the eye and then you placed your head on my shoulder. This position that you put me in, you're on a mission to take my world from around me. Wide awake, I worry miss her, I'll never forget her.
And there we have it. That was my song called Unwanted Stranger. And let me just get the super chat window up on screen because I think we've had a little bit of action in there. So we had a donation from R. Gray who has donated $10. Thank you for that. And it is a straight up donation. And Joan has donated $9.99. Thank you for that, Joan. And the message is, thank you for playing Unwanted Stranger. So no problem. Thank you for requesting it. It really does help me out over on Patreon for all of you guys that request videos for me to play. And also just a massive thank you to the moderators tonight, because I think this is something that people maybe don't appreciate the job that the moderators are doing. Also, I think when you look at it in perspective, that it's great that we've got 135,000 subscribers to the channel, but that is quite a big number. And the reason that we don't see a lot of trolls, or at least they don't persist in the live chat room, is because of the moderators doing such a great job. So thank you guys so much for keeping it all in check there. And I think it is unfortunately something that will happen in the future as the channel continues to seemingly grow week by week. We get more and more attention, which is good in one way, that more people are checking out the videos and joining the community, but there's always going to be a bad apple in there somewhere who just wants to jump in for a bit of attention. But a massive thank you to everybody for joining me tonight in the live chat room, but also the moderators for keeping everything in check. Carla, Laurie, and Neil was in there earlier as well. Thank you guys so much. So we are going to be calling this to a close pretty soon. And just before we do, we've had another donation, and it's from Yayoi, who has donated $10. Thank you for that. The message is, I loved the Bay City Rollers analysis. They and the Nolans were a big hit in Japan in the 70s. So thank you for that, Yayoi, for the donation and the message. And it is something that the Nolans were quite big here in the UK, of course, and the Bay City Rollers, yeah, that video that I did, I'm glad that you enjoyed the video. It's unfortunately another one of those cautionary tales of a band that, well, like so many bands, didn't really get a particularly good deal with their record deal and just got shut out of everything and pretty much exploited for what they could do by the record label. So it was a bit of a sad story, but thank you, Yayoi, for that donation. And also thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. So if you want to hit that thumbs up button, you can do. It's now 1:20 in the morning. We can get a final spike of the likes. We did reach our target of 200 likes for this live stream. So thank you everyone for hitting that thumbs up. You still can do that now. You can still do it if you're watching it on demand or on catch up, however you're accessing this. You can still hit that thumbs up. It really does help the live stream to get out there, but also the channel to grow as a whole. And just while I remember, we have had another picture uploaded by Vince over on Facebook, and this was a bit of an exclusive picture of a Wings of Pegasus cup. Now, the thing about this particular cup is it's something that Vince has come up with himself. I'm going to try and see if I can get this on screen. There is Vince with his Wings of Pegasus cup with his little pinky just pushed up into the air. Very, very well done, because that is what must be done when you're holding a cup, especially in England. But the interesting thing about this picture is the way that Vince has put it together, because all of the people out there who like to do a little bit of detective work can see that on Vince's t-shirt, the image is reversed the other way around, but on the mug, it is correct. So we can tell there's been a little bit of cheeky editing going on to make the Wings of Pegasus Cup a reality. And I think Vince does say over on Facebook anyway that it is a made-up picture. So thank you to Vince for doing that. And also, if you guys want to check out the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook, then you can do. I'm going to see if I can do this screen capture thing that I've done before. So let me try and click on some buttons and see what happens. This could be random and could totally not work, but let's see. Here we go. So it's working. Right, so this is the little cursor that I'm moving. If you go to live streams, and this is wingsofpegasus.com, by the way, you go to live streams and then down here, click on Wings of Pegasus supporters group, and that should take you through to the Facebook page with this guy at the top who seems to be a little bit too happy for my liking. So anyway, that is how you make your way to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group. And if you've managed to make it over there, then that'll be something that Laura can allow you into. And when you are over there, you can then post and upload your photos as well. So if you want to do that, you can do. And let me just try and get this off screen now. Bring on the super chat window as well. That is where the pictures get uploaded to. That's where I just grabbed that picture of Vince with his cup, but also all of the pictures with the t-shirts and the mugs and the hoodie as well that Teresa uploaded. So I do go over there and just see if anything new's been uploaded and then feature it on the live streams if you're interested in that. So thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight to this live stream. I hope you guys have had a great week so far, and that Monday is out the way and it wasn't so bad, and that the rest of your week goes really well as well. And as always, I'm going to be seeing you guys on Saturday night if you're still available to attend the live stream. I'll be doing another analysis video tomorrow night and every single night of the week and ever into the future, apart from the Tuesday night live streams and the Saturday night live streams. So thank you everyone again for joining me tonight. Vivian's in the house, and Jennifer, Laurie, Barbara, Lucy, Paula, Kevin, JR, and Ray's still in there, and Lisa and Jeff and Mary as well, and Barbara and Reb. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. I'll see you guys at the next live stream. If I don't see you there, I'll see you in the comment section of tomorrow night's analysis video. Try to stay as safe as possible. Hopefully things are improving where you are, and it's just about staying isolated. And in the UK, we've still got this 2 meter rule of staying away from each other just to make sure things don't spread if you do have to go outside. But hopefully we can all stay safe and things will return to relative normality soon. And I'll see you guys in the next analysis video, like I said, or the next live stream. I'll catch you guys later. Rock!